So we got the news right here. Even though this was published on April 24th, 2026, there was a recent news press release that they had from the White House in the press briefing room that they are stepping up this investigation to these 562,000 suspected fraudulent loans to the Treasury Department for collections totaling over $22 billion. And you can see here that in the press release, it was stating that over 562,000 suspected fraudulent loans to the U.S. Department of Treasury for collections make the SBA's largest referral package on record. The borrowers are tied to over 22 billion in delinquent Paycheck Protection PPP and COVID EIDL loans that were previously flagged for suspected fraud during the Biden administration but never sent to the Treasury for collections nor referred to the U.S. Department of Justice for investigation. The SBA has transmitted the borrowers to the DOJ, and today's referral, the Treasury begun collecting on the outstanding debts as part of the Trump administration's commitment to recouping stolen pandemic-era funds on behalf of American taxpayers. I hope that they really do what they claim that they're going to do, because there was a lot of big-time money people, not going to mention any names, that could also be considered. Just like I had in my other videos, what I've stated in this, and I just consider myself fortunate that I didn't go and get these the money. There was one, I don't know, maybe I did the paperwork wrong, even though I did have a company, and that company was devastated by COVID, my print advertising marketing business. It was already devastated by the tariffs because you couldn't get paper from overseas at the price that we used to be able to get it for printing the publications every week. And the printers here, rather than sticking to their prices, they increased the prices. So we were already devastated in 2016. And then when 2020 rolled around with COVID, it just destroyed my print advertising company. But before we, even though during the whole period of time we didn't lay off anyone, we made sure people were getting paid, and that was basically because me and my wife saved money, and our businesses are debt free. And but we went ahead just like everybody else was doing, and we applied for one of these. I got turned down for the EIDL. I had employees that got the EIDL that were my contracted sales reps. They wasn't on W-2. But myself, I got turned down, and for the other loans, we got turned down, but it could have been something about the way that I filed it. And but for one of my companies, we did get the PPP, and 100% of that, and it didn't even really cover for what they did, but 100% of that went to those employees. I did not take one penny of the money, 100%. And when they asked for the paperwork on that, payroll, because basically what they're going to be asking for, and I'm going to go over it in this video. So if you did get one of these loans, you better have this stuff ready, because if you don't have this stuff ready, it's going to make some issues. But so before I get to what they're going to be utilizing in the investigations, what people have to have, or they're going to find themselves in a bad situation, especially for what they're trying to do now, making examples of people. They're going to really, try to bring the hammer down on people, and you know how it is. They're going to try to make examples of some people. So what I've done is I did a little research, and did a little research, and so they're estimating about 562,000 people, um, or entities, because it could be some people did multiple entities, had gotten roughly around $22 billion. And they're this might be a little political, but they're specifically mentioning in their releases over 111,000 from California and 6,900 from Minnesota. We already know what's been going on with what we're claiming in Minnesota. The DOJ criminal enforcement, what they're going to be looking for is that will qualify for an arrest is allegations of wire. So if they suspect that the business is fake, they don't produce the documents when they're asked to produce those documents, or they just look at the documents that were submitted and they find that those documents were fraudulent. The allegations that they're making, which is wire fraud, bank fraud, false statements, money laundering, and identity theft in some of the cases, because some businesses, people use their information. We already know what a wire fraud comes in. That's because all the money was direct deposited. Bank fraud, it was deposited into a bank account, and false statements are the documentation that they utilize to get the loan, or documents that they utilize to get the loan forgiven. So what the enforcement is mainly targeting right now is people who created fake businesses where they could see that it was not legitimate, not even a business that was in business, inflated payroll figures, which is easy for them because what they'll do is they'll just ask for the payroll from that period of time when they want to see if that matches, because if people are lying about their payroll, obviously that's going to be one of the issues that they're going to utilize to target the person. People who stole other people's identities, a lot of that was going on. People who applied for multiple PPP and EDIL loans, people were doing that. Submitted false tax documents. That's going to be an easy one, because what they're going to do is they're going to look at they're going to look at the transcripts that you have now and back towards that time. What they did is when they talked about and I showed it was at the top here, that they had the Biden amnesty for fraudulent pandemic era loans. I didn't really know that there was that even existed, that they had an amnesty. I don't know about that. I'll do some more research on that, but so they're saying that they wasn't looking into stuff because people had amnesty. I didn't even know that they had put that into action at that time. And thing about it is that something like that would have to come from the White House, because during both administrations during this period of time, you would have had Republicans in charge, except for I think one time under Biden. So I mean, it's crazy. I'm kind of suspect on that. That might be one of those things that might wash both ways. Misrepresentation of employee counts. That's going to be an easy one, because they're going to look at Social Security and payrolls. Diverted funds for luxury purchases. You could not have used the money for anything other than business. They're going to be able to figure that out. Obtain loans being clearly ineligible. I don't know how that would have happened, but obviously it must have been happening. They got the federal agencies that they're using. So they have several agencies that they're using false crime, or the laws that the civil enforcement laws that they're using to go after people. The False Claims Act are using administrative debt collection, treasury offsets, loan reviews years after forgiveness. So even if they forgave it, they're enacting something in the law that allows them to review it even years after it was forgiven. And let's see, recover and trying to recover money too. So some other things that I've found from SBA, DOJ, Office of Inspector General that people need to have available, so don't get rid of your records, is payroll records, bank statements, tax returns, payroll tax filings, forgiveness documents, correspondence with lenders, documents showing how funds were spent. Now, in that list, let me tell you, the top spot is payroll records. If you got a PPP loan and it was forgiven and you have your payroll records, it'll be in the story if you did pay the workers, that they were real workers. A lot, they won't even go down the list. So they're just starting with the top thing that they could check to say, hey, do you got this? If you don't got this, out of here. You're out of here. So this here, I just want to give an update on it. Now, people have been coming to me and they were like, Steve, what should I do? What should I do about this? Let me tell you what you should do. If you have one of these loans, you should start making the minimum payments. At minimum, make the minimum payments. Not to say that they won't come after you if you did something wrong. I'm definitely not saying that, because if you did something wrong, it's gonna be some problems. Depending on the amount of the loan that you took, it could be a huge problem. Basically, anything over $50,000, it's going to be a huge problem. And I suspect that they are going to try to seize assets. From the way that they're doing things, the way that they want to make examples of people, I believe that they are going to try to, if they don't get the money from people and they end up trying to put people in jail and they do have other assets, they're going to seize those assets. I already can foresee this. This is just the game, or this is just the way that they're going to play the game. But I would encourage you to, at minimum, pay the minimum payments on your loans, because at least if you're paying the minimum payments on your loans, potentially, maybe they're just going to be like, these loans are being paid on. They're getting the minimum payments. Let's move on over to people who are not doing anything. That could be something that they could do. But if you did do something wrong and they look at the records and they're like, this business was not legit, that type of stuff, you're gonna have to be, once they approach you about it, you're gonna have to be very proactive in dealing with it. Don't run from it. Just be like, hey, what do I need to do so I can, so we can move forward. Hopefully, any people that find themselves in those situations can just start paying the loans back, because I mean, bottom line, that's one of the main things that they wanted. They want to get the money back. All right. If anyone needs help with their credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch video What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you early in the game, go to summersmaster.com, create your exclusive debt validation letter. If you have debt collectors who are suing you, go to summersmaster.com, where you can get a summons response for your lawsuit that'll give you opportunity to get your case dismissed, delay your case, no default judgment, and opportunity to settle if that's a route that you want to take. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com and summonsmaster.com.